Why it sucked. The last 24 hours in Pompeii. In the year 79 AD, Pompeii was a vibrant Roman city full of life, luxury, and noise. Merchants shouted in the streets, families cooked meals, children played near fountains, and wealthy elites relaxed in lavish villas decorated with beautiful frescoes and mosaics. No one knew that within 24 hours, almost everyone would be dead, buried, and forgotten for nearly 1,700 years. The last day in Pompeii didn't just end badly. It sucked in every possible way. Slow terror, confusion, painful deaths, and absolute chaos. Let's walk through what really happened during the final 24 hours before Mount Vesuvius destroyed Pompeii forever. Morning, a normal day in a doomed city. The day started like any other Roman day. People woke up early to heat water, prepare bread, and visit the markets. Pompeii was rich, busy, and sophisticated. It had public baths, theaters, restaurants, brothels, and even graffiti on the walls. But there was a problem. The city was built next to a volcano. For centuries, Mount Vesuvius had been quiet. Most people believed it was just a normal mountain. Some even planted vineyards on its slopes. A few residents remembered small earthquakes over the years, but earthquakes were common in Italy, so nobody thought much of them. However, in the days before the eruption, animals behaved strangely, wells dried up, and tremors became stronger. Many residents felt uneasy, but life went on. That morning, no one knew they were living their last peaceful hours on Earth. Early afternoon, the sky explodes. Around early afternoon, everything changed. Without warning, Mount Vesuvius erupted with a massive explosion. A giant column of ash and gas shot up into the sky, up to 20 kilometers high. People heard a thunderous roar that sounded like the end of the world. The sky turned black. The sun disappeared. Ash started raining down like snow. At first, many people thought it was just another earthquake or storm. Some stayed inside their homes. Others went outside to watch the strange spectacle. This was their first mistake. Late afternoon, ash rain and panic. As hours passed, the ash fall became heavier. Pumice stones, light volcanic rocks, began falling from the sky. Roofs started collapsing under the weight. Streets filled with dust so thick people could barely see. People began to panic. Some grabbed valuables and tried to escape. Others prayed to Roman gods, believing the disaster was divine punishment. Families tried to find each other in the chaos. Slaves waited for their master's orders. Many people hesitated, hoping the eruption would stop. But it didn't. By evening, Pompeii was buried under meters of ash. People struggled to breathe. The air was filled with toxic gases and volcanic dust that burned the lungs. Many died simply from suffocation while hiding in their homes. Nightfall, total darkness and terror. When night came, Pompeii was in complete darkness. There were no stars, no moon, no streetlights, just thick black ash clouds. People described the scene as being buried alive in a tomb. The ground shook constantly. Buildings collapsed. People screamed. Animals went crazy. Fires started from falling volcanic debris. Some tried to flee to the sea, hoping to escape by boat. Others ran toward the countryside, but ash storms made it impossible to see. People stumbled over debris, bodies, and rubble. Imagine being in total darkness, choking, terrified, hearing screams everywhere, not knowing where your family is, and not knowing if you will live another hour. This was only the beginning. Midnight to dawn, the deadliest phase begins. Most people think Pompeii was destroyed by lava, but lava never reached the city. The real killer was something far worse: pyroclastic flows. These were superheated clouds of gas, ash, and rocks moving at speeds of up to 700 kilometers per hour. The temperature inside these clouds could reach 300 to 700 degrees Celsius, hot enough to kill instantly. In the early morning hours, the volcano collapsed, sending multiple pyroclastic surges toward Pompeii. People had no chance. Morning of doom, instant death. When the first pyroclastic surge hit Pompeii, it was like a hurricane made of fire and poison. People inside their houses died in seconds. Those on the streets were burned alive instantly. Some died from heat shock so fast their brains boiled. Archaeologists found bodies frozen in their final moments, covering their faces, hugging loved ones, holding on to pets. Many died in prayer. Some tried to shield children. Dogs were found chained, unable to escape. There was no escape, no warning, no mercy. Within minutes, Pompeii was silent. Why it sucked so badly? 1. People didn't understand volcanoes. In 79 AD, people had no scientific knowledge of volcanoes. They didn't know what the signs meant. They didn't know when to run. By the time they realized the danger, it was too late. 2. The disaster was slow and confusing. This wasn't a sudden explosion like a bomb. It lasted over a day. People hesitated, hoping it would stop. That hesitation killed thousands. 3. Death was horrible. People didn't just die peacefully. They suffocated, burned, or were buried alive. Some survived the ash fall only to die hours later from pyroclastic flows. 4. Families were separated. Many people died alone, unable to find their loved ones in the chaos. Children, parents, and spouses were separated in darkness and panic. 5. No rescue was coming. There were no emergency services, no warnings, no evacuation plans. The Roman government had no idea how to respond to natural disasters on this scale. Aftermath: a city frozen in time. After the eruption, Pompeii was buried under meters of ash and forgotten. Over time, people forgot where the city even was. It wasn't until the 18th century that archaeologists rediscovered it. The ash preserved everything: houses, furniture, food, graffiti, and even people. When archaeologists poured plaster into empty spaces left by decomposed bodies, they revealed haunting casts of people in their final moments. Pompeii became a time capsule of ancient Roman life and death. Final thoughts: a terrible last day. The last 24 hours in Pompeii sucked, not just because of death, but because of fear, confusion, and helplessness. People watched their world end slowly. They heard screams, saw darkness cover the sky, felt the ground shake, and had no idea what was happening. Pompeii teaches us a powerful lesson: nature can destroy even the greatest civilizations in a single day.